You're tuned into the Jersey Comic Crew, and on this episode, we're going to talk about the coronavirus and how it impacts pop culture. Stay tuned to find out more. And yes, this is the coronavirus.
Yes. We're not going to tell you about washing your hands.
No, you all know to do that. We want to talk about the effects it's having on pop culture.
Yes.
Now, some may have argued that, this is no worse than the flu. This is people are blowing out in bigger than it is, bigger proportions. And I can understand that. I'm kind of in the same boat. Mm-hmm. But because of everything that's happening, it's affecting so many different aspects, right? We know an AMC in Italy had to close down its theaters because of the outbreak.
Every theater in China is closed.
We know every theater in China is closed. We know that the James Bond movie had to be postponed because of this, because of where they wanted to film.
Market, yeah.
Exactly. We do know what else? They had to cancel one of the Comic Cons, Emerald City Comic Con.
They just canceled last night. They just announced that they canceled Emerald City Comic Con in Seattle. Prior to them canceling, DC pulled everyone out.
Yes.
Because Seattle is a hot spot right now. Seattle's kind of in quarantine mode. There's been 14 deaths is the total now. Obviously, elderly respiratory issues, which a lot of the media is not talking about.
Yeah, because it's a buzz, right? Exactly. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, coronavirus! It's the plague! It's the bubonic plague! It's the 2020s!"
And again, we're like, this is one of those issues where I think we need to talk about it. Not because the coronavirus is a trigger word and people are looking it up. I think it's because...
But it helps.
I mean, it does, but at the same time, pop culture itself and the amount of money that goes into these things is not funny. And the way the economy is going to be hurt when we just got out of a recession, I know I'm getting a little political, but it's going to affect everything. Moving that James Bond movie alone is going to be anywhere between $30 and $50 million. So that not only is it that, but that's another 30 to 50 million they have to make back.
Correct.
When it finally comes out.
And then you think about like the movies, right? I love going to the movies, but a lot of people are afraid and they won't go because they're afraid of this outbreak getting to them. I know in Jersey we have a couple confirmed cases actually within our nearby area, right? So everybody's like, "Oh, I'm not going outside. Oh, I'm not going to the movies." So movie theaters are like, "Oh, shit,
we're struggling."
we're there's already that argument of they're struggling, right? And now like, oh, the big movie came out and you're gonna get less numbers, which means the studios are all gonna get hurt because people don't wash their hands and the media is freaking out about it.
Yeah, and we were talking about this before the show, right? Like, and I think there's levels of this, right? I don't think you should be freaking out to the point where, like, I'm seeing things online where it's like, gargle with bleach. You won't get it. I mean, the best way to not get corona is to already be dead. Don't get me wrong. But, like, I haven't heard that. That's ridiculously extreme. So, like, and obviously the other side is don't go into the subway and lick, holes in seats.
Oh, I have to stop that?
You gotta stop that. So
that was my pastime.
And obviously it's simple, right? Like, people... Just wash your freaking hands and be clean.
My friend,
like,
God.
How many people? We were talking about this. How many people do you see go into a men's bathroom and go like pee in a urinal and don't even wash their hands?
I know.
Have
you ever been guilty of doing that?
No,
I've done it once.
It's disgusting. Yeah, you would. You look like the guy who would.
Not all the time. Oh my God!
I'm in a rush. Screw this. I can have germy dick hands.
My dick's clean. And I'm like, wait a minute. Everything else, but I always make sure. Like,
I bet you shake people's hands with dick hands. Don't you?
No, I make sure I don't touch anything.
But like,
and I don't touch the doorknob either. I'm just using my foot to open it.
Oh, I know. I use a paper towel and open doors. But it's something that is not only, which we were talking about before the show. The flu. There's, thousands of cases.
The flu is worse than the coronavirus right now.
It's killed more people as of now, the flu per year. But, again, be cautious. Be a little more prudent in what you're doing, right? Wash your hands longer.
Yes.
And don't be an idiot.
You sing the happy birthday song, right? Happy birthday to you.
I think Ellen DeGeneres did a really funny, like, sensual... like hand washing tutorial on her show last week.
Did she?
Yeah, it was like, if you don't like washing your hands, make it sexy or something. It was like really, and it had like baby making music or something. It was really funny. But like,
I gotta watch it.
Besides obviously the boring stuff of how not to contract the virus, also the aspects of being in massive places with a lot of people is key not to do. And in pop culture, that's how the entire thing runs.
Yeah, it's literally called the con flu, right?
Yeah.
You go to the con, and half the time you come out sick because
people are gross.
I was just going to say, there's a lot of people, a lot of air and fluids. It could happen. But like with this...
a lot of slobs.
With this, whether it is more dangerous or not, a lot of medical experts are saying it's about the same. But with this increased awareness of it, that just gives you further enforcement to wash hands.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself. And the reason we wanted to bring this up, like I said, pop culture is going to take a hit. And we want to make sure that you guys are aware of the significance that it's affecting our realm of stuff.
Yeah.
Because my friends were talking, they were like, Rob, did you know that somebody got a case in such and such city of New Jersey? I was like, no. And I was like, oh, no. They're like, what do you live on the rock? I was like, did you know they had to close Emerald City Comic Con because of it? They're like, no. I was like, oh, what rock are you living on? I have two different things.
I got nerd news.
I have nerd news. You know they had to close an AMC in Italy? They're like, why would I care? Why would you care? That's right. You care about this guy in Jersey? No, I don't think so.
Well, yeah, and the other thing is...
I do care.
Which is crazy to me. It's like, you get the flu, you go to bed for 10 days and you're fine. And it's like, it seems like everyone with corona is just like traveling. You're like, yeah, I think I'll take a vacation or something. Like, it seems like everyone's traveling.
Yeah, nobody knows they have it.
But obviously, no one knows they have it. It takes 2 weeks to come into your system and yada, yada, yada. But, so, back to the pop culture stuff.
Yeah.
So, you can stop boring you guys with stuff you've heard a billion times.
Go to the movies.
Yeah.
Live dangerously. Support them.
Well, like Emerald City, right? I'm like...
that sucks. That's huge.
There's been updates about this show every week for a month. Yeah. And... I've been talking to Erica about this, other people, and people I know at cons. I have a buddy of mine who's a vendor who sells comic books. Gus.
Yeah.
You know him, too. And
he showed me the first appearance of Gambit.
That's right. He did. With Family Discount. Yes, yeah, I got my first Punisher from him. So, like, I get a bunch of books from him. So, like, he makes a living by going from Comic-Con to Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Selling his books. He's a vendor. That's how he makes his living. This is going to take a hit to not just the celebrities going and the people who are paying for tickets and the companies that are doing these things.
The vendors, yeah.
Reed Pop is the company that does New York Comic Con. Mm-hmm. They are the ones who do Emerald City. Right now it's delayed till summer. But when you have CGC saying we're not going.
DC pulling people.
DC pulling everyone that works for them out. The only person who was adamant about going was like J. Scott Campbell.
Yeah, I got the email. He's like, guys, we're going. Don't worry about it. Archerm and his people are like, we're going.
Yeah.
I've talked to Stanley. I've talked to everybody else. We're going.
Part of me is like, they're doing it to sound loyal to fans.
Yeah.
Knowing that it was going to get shut down.
If they did, brilliant. If they were actually going, no matter what, great.
I mean, again, but part of me was like, no, J. Scott Campbell, do not go. Like, we cannot lose J. Scott Campbell. What else will I spend money on? Like,
there's other comic artists out there,
but they're not J. Scott Campbell.
Okay,
but like it's crazy to think of, like, not only is it that dangerous, like it's almost like we were just talking about the Last of Us TV show. The Last of Us is based on a pandemic.
Spoilers.
That create.
God.
Oh, it's only been 7 years since the game came out. Like,
really? That long?
PS3. Oh. It was a PS3 game. Yeah. A little behind there, bud.
Yeah. So, they're making a second one just now? They waited 7 years?
It's been a while. It's been a minute. Well, they did the remastered PS4 version.
I know. Fair
it's
enough.
like Kingdom Hearts schedule. But like, so, we just talked about that. That's a pandemic game that involves a virus from bugs. There's an actual virus in real life that kind of zombifies bugs that they get. And they're kind of dead and not alive, but they're still kind of alive.
In the game or in the real world?
In the real world that they based the game on. And
there's zombie bugs in our world now? Yes.
So, like...
Did you know this?
And it's like a plant-based virus. So, in the game...
What are we doing to stop these zombie bugs? Why are we not talking about zombie bugs and we're talking about freaking coronavirus, which is another version of the flu?
Why are we not talking about the asteroid that might hit Earth in April and kill everybody? No one's talked about that. There's an asteroid going towards, like, it's going to pass Earth. And if...
what side of Earth is it going to hit?
Doesn't matter.
Like us?
It doesn't matter. It's
Trump's building a wall, man. We might be... we might be just hiding behind the wall.
What an asshat. It's 2 miles long, the asteroid. If that thing hits, it doesn't matter what side it hits on.
Earth's a lot bigger than 2 miles. We'll be all right.
An impact of hundreds of thousands of miles per hour. And an explosion of that magnitude would destroy the planet.
You sure about that?
And no one's talking about it. It's like, oh yeah, we might have 3 weeks to live. Like, no one's talking about it.
Well, we can't avoid that one. If we're dead, we're dead.
We're dead, hey.
We won't see Justice League 2. I mean,
oh, thank God.
like,
Kill me for that.
All right.
But anyway, like,
your final thoughts.
But anyway, like, you know, when you're talking about, you know, all these shows and all these things, they're canceling things ahead of time. There's a show called SXSW that used to be kind of like a music festival in Texas. They canceled that because it's become more of an entertainment video game show.
Yeah.
They're monitoring E3 already in LA. These are millions of dollars that go into these things. Rob and I cover E3 every year. I mean, it might be the smartest thing right now might be like Sony and Nintendo who are like, yeah, we're going to do our own kind of internet video of what's going on. Not going to be there.
This might be the final push. Everybody do their own conference.
It might be, and E3 is already struggling, right? With all these people dropping out, and Comic-Cons make their nut, and these convention centers make their nut on Comic-Cons.
No.
Can you imagine? We almost missed that one. If you imagine this, right?
Yeah.
Depending on how this goes into the summer, you know, certain viruses, you know, this is scientific, but certain viruses will die down with the heat, certain die down with cold. This is a virus that will die down more with heat.
I heard that this is supposed to be seasonal.
Yes, so...
What does that mean?
Meaning like
go away, come
cold
back.
Winter months. Mm-hmm. So if it goes away during the summer, you know, some of the cons might be fine. A big part of the show is me going to Comic-Cons in the summer and trying to get interviews and getting information and news, and we're doing it for the show. At the moment, I'm scheduled to go to DC, which is fine. But again, it's a hall with a bunch of people in it. And comic fans aren't known to be the cleanest people around.
I think you're clean.
So, I don't.
Get dirty.
Like, well, here's the thing. We were talking about Corona, right? Like, Corona is not just based on how clean you are.
It's everybody.
It's based on how clean that person is who you interact with. And I don't trust that person.
That one over there?
Yes, that one over there.
Right over there?
Yes.
I gotta put my hand on camera.
The coat rack over there.
Right there.
So, like,
wash yourself.
I don't trust the other person to do their job. Mm-hmm. I trust me to do mine. So, that's what's scary about these convention centers where people are supposed to make their nut and they're making a living. So, like, you're moving East Coast, Emerald City Comic Con. You're moving that to summer. By moving that to summer already, that's taking away attendance at other cons.
That could, yeah.
That's taking away people who are scheduled to those cons away.
Yeah, and what if they're like, oh, I can't do that con now because I have to do something else?
Yes.
Or like, oh, I took off work for this con and now I just wasted my days.
And also, flu season is in November and October. That's when you get your flu shots. It's like the big flu season. If this like goes away and comes back, it's not going to matter if Bond delays till November.
What's going to happen?
It's not going to matter because it's the $50 million that you just spent and no one's still going to go see it.
What's going to happen in New York Comic Con?
That's my question.
That one, because we know the
I hate walking around there already.
New York City or New York Comic Con?
New York Comic Con. It's a billion people. That picture is a picture of New York Comic Con. That was a picture of New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
Like, if you're there on a Saturday,
it's terrible.
It is like shoulder to shoulder. You're walking like a penguin. It's impossible not to touch anybody.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine.
I've been coughed on a sneeze on a New York Comic Con.
Of course you have. Yeah. It's gross. And also, it's an international show, like San Diego. So there's a ton of people coming from overseas. There's a ton of people going back and forth.
Oh, man.
And it's not even just that. Outside is packed. The subways are packed. It is a
restaurants
madhouse.
nearby. Everything.
I don't think I'm going. I don't.
No?
I don't think. How?
Well, what if they beat the Corona? What if the Bud Knight comes out and slays him?
Bud Knight Platinum?
Yeah, he can be platinum if he wants to be. Whatever gemstone he wants to be.
I don't know if I'm going to New York Comic Con this year for the first time in a long time.
I'm going, so
I don't think I'm going to do it.
Even just for a day. I don't go all weekend anymore, but I would still probably go.
If it is not taken care of by then, New York is the biggest international besides San Diego, and San Diego's in the summer. California's already been hit a couple times by this. I don't know if these are feasible. New York is a multi-million-dollar show.
Yeah, they can't cancel it.
How do you cancel that?
You can't.
And it's the Javits Center. It's New York City. It's not like you could just delay it a couple weeks because there's something else going on
the next
every week.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're going to be able to be like, oh, we'll just move it to like December. How? You know what I mean? So
my God. Can you imagine New York City in December for New York Comic Con?
It's unreal.
Oh, that would be terrible.
Like, I'm already thinking like, I'm not doing this. There's no way. There's no way I could do this.
All right, guys. I think we need your opinion on the coronavirus in pop culture. How do you think this is going to affect the future of pop culture? Are we going to see less tickets at movies? Are we going to see less cons? Do you think they're going to close down New York Comic Con or San Diego or anything else? E3? Let us know down in the comments below. We are definitely very curious to hear what you're saying about this epidemic. Or do you think everybody's just blowing us out of the water? Do you think this is not a big deal and everybody needs to get over it? Let us know.